I have Mary Laurent with SLEMCO on the phone. If we can talk to you real quick. Mary, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey Mary, how's everything going with SLEMCO? What can you tell us about power outages across the state?
Well, what I can tell you, I'm not sure about all across the state, but for us, we have about a little over 80,000 who are without power. And our main system, our main thing that we need to kind of let you know about tonight is that the servers that handle our smart hub and our outage management system were damaged during the storm. So for right now, until we can get that repaired, which they're working on that now, the only way to get through to us to report an outage is through the phone line. So you can't do it through our Smart Hub app.
Right.
However, that's okay, because the first thing we do after any storm is restore power to the feeders first anyway. So it's okay. It'll take a little while for people to get through, and we understand that they're going to be aggravated. I do appreciate people's patience, but I can promise you this is not going to change or stop anything that we would normally have done from the get-go anyway, because it doesn't pay us at all to go to someone's home if we don't. So we have to get all those feeders on first, just like every other utility company does, and we're going to be doing that first thing, and then from there, by that time, the Smart Hub app and all of that will be back up and running, and people can report their outage that way in addition to the phone lines.
Gotcha. And Mary, you had mentioned 80,000 people without power. Are the conditions calm enough yet in the SLEMCO service area for crews to be out there yet? Is the work underway just yet?
It is not underway just yet, but that's something that they hope to get done soon. But if not, the absolute latest it will get done. It'll get started at daybreak at the absolute latest.
What are some of the conditions that you wait for before sending crews out there? Obviously, winds. You wouldn't want to be out there with high winds. Is there a threshold that you look for?
Typically, it's anywhere around 30 miles an hour, and right now we're still having gusts above that. And what we have to remember is if we can't put a man up on a pole on his hooks or in a bucket when the winds get too high. So even with the gusts, I know it seems calm and then it gets gusty, and then it seems calm and it gets gusty, and so on and so forth. But we have to make sure that it's going to be safe, not for just a little while, but safe long term for them to work. Because if you got to change a pole, if you got to unwrap wire from trees, that all takes a while, so we need to make sure that the winds are consistently below the 30-mile threshold.
Below that mark, yeah. And talk to me a little bit about, and our audience, about some of the assistance that y'all have received. I would imagine there are so many utility companies across the state right now that were still working to help out after Hurricane Laura, and now this.
Correct. And a very interesting thing for people to kind of get to know. We already have on hand an additional 260 men. They're parked at our Karen Crow location, which is where we used to be located. And they're already here. They're in hotels and they're waiting to get started. But what happens is all the utility companies along the coast that are anywhere in the cone of where a storm is going to hit, they all go on ahead and contract with workers from out of state. And then once the storm comes through and you're not going to need them, you release them, and then they go to where the need is greatest. So I imagine our number of 260 right now is going to swell to many, many more, because every utility company wants to get the job done as quickly as they can. So they go on ahead and they bring in all these wonderful people from out of the area so that they can get the power restored as quickly as possible.
Okay, some important work that's going to be done in the hours and days and weeks ahead. Mary Laurent with SLEMCO, thank you so much for your time. Stay safe.
Thank you. You do the same.
All right.